Everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And this is a giant from the Descent board game. It's an older game, but I picked it up used at a game store for a good price, and it came with a ton of minis, and some of them have been pretty good. I painted two on the channel. One was Naga, and the other one was this. I don't know if I painted one of these on the channel or not. But anyways, I was going to paint this dude up today because I didn't really have any ideas for the video. I just kind of finished the swamp series, but I wanted to populate my swamp with some more monsters, just like for encounters. Because I don't plan on them just walking into the swamp, killing a witch, and walking out. I plan on, having it be a drawn-out kind of adventuring in the swamp, leaving the swamp, coming back to the swamp kind of deal. So, without further ado, let's get started. So for his skin tone, I was thinking about using a green. Let's see if I can speed paint this guy. I got a new roll of masking tape here. I say new, I pulled some of it off already, but it's newish. Alright, I don't really know if I want to speed paint his skin for sure. I might want to just do that old school. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do that old school. Alright, let's get some cardboard. Let's see, what color paint do I want to use for his skin? I have angel green. It's pretty dark. It's a little darker than I wanted for my base coat. What about this green skin? In theory, this should not be too dark. Yeah, it's kind of bright. Okay, let's try it. Again, dampening my brush. So it's either going to be like, I'm going to call it a marsh giant or a swamp giant or something like that, you know what I mean? A bog giant maybe. Bog giant sounds good. I'm just trying to get a kind of a thin coat on here. So a little bit of that gray kind of from the undercoat kind of pops through and gives it some depth. I don't want to kill myself here. I was supposed to be off today and tomorrow, and I am off today, except for a couple BS phone calls. But tomorrow I'm going to have to run out to one of my sites. Just check on things, because they're not running because of the holiday. So it will be a quick trip. Look at his knee there, just hanging right out of his pants. Let's get that covered up. I got a little bit on the pants. That's okay. We can always come back and clean that up. Now this miniature is a little more cartoony than I normally like, which is funny because the Naga was pretty good. It wasn't super cartoony, but this dude is pretty cartoony. But that's all right. I don't mind. I normally would do giants in flesh tone, but I'm trying to stick in my swamp theme here with this, so I opted to try to do something a little different than I normally would with a giant. I'll do ogres in this color, or maybe even trolls, but not so much giants normally. Lady Doom and I were looking at some like a organizer rack, because I still haven't even brought my speed paints that I got for Christmas down here, because I just don't have anywhere to put them right now, because I have so much. I keep everything, and I have so much crafting stuff, and I probably should go through and get rid of paints that don't work anymore, that have dried up, or that I haven't opened in 10 years plus. And I should go through my brushes and donate some of those to other people. I mean, I over the Christmas holiday, I did give away quite a few brushes and stuff and some paint, but I just have so much stuff. Like, I have, like, there are some colors from my apple barrel that I have, you know, if somebody locally needed them, I would give those to them, because I wouldn't have to pay for shipping, because I have, like, some apple barrel colors that, like, I bought some, had some, bought more, didn't realize that, you know what I mean? I have, like, there's this one color, flag red. I think I have, like, 6 things of it. And this miniature had a couple of seams on it that I did sand off some of it, and I missed some spots. I didn't do a super great job on that, and that's okay. See, my brush is getting a little too dry, and then it starts dragging paint smears everywhere. And you can leave those and add texture, really. I guess it doesn't matter too much. I'm probably overreacting. So, Lady Doom and I went out to celebrate a date today. The little boys are with their grandparents, my parents, and Grandma and Grandpa Doom. I'm going to switch up brushes and get something smaller to do that face and get in between some of the hair. Oh, my nose is a little stuffy today. All right. I'm going to take him off camera real quick and use the hot air gun. All right, so what I want to do is I want to bring him down a little bit. So what color green did I use there? Goblin green or goblin skin? Green skin. Then I had this one that's a little bit lighter called goblin green or green goblin green. Yeah, that's a little bit lighter. We're just going to get a real soft brush from the Dollar Tree. We're going to mix those a little bit. Okay, and I want to go one a little bit lighter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this army green, which is it's a little more drab than the like desaturated or whatever. I'm going to try that out and see how that does for me too. Just because I'd like to get. Why is this light? Is this brush full of white paint? Let me get a different brush. I think that paint brush was full of white paint that I hadn't wiped out properly. Yeah, because look how... Okay. Whoa. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that brush had some white paint in it. That was, for some reason, I didn't clean it out right. I don't know. I make mistakes. Though one of them is usually not putting my brushes away dirty. Even if I am rushing to go to bed or something, I will make sure to clean my brushes because they'll last forever. Not forever, but they'll last for a long time if you take care of them. All right, now I'm happier with that color. It's a little more laid back of a color. It's not so obnoxious, but it's still a cool green. I don't think I really need to add any more too much. All right. Let's put that away. And I need something to use as my base coat for the hair. So I think I want to do like a brownish orangish color. So I'm going to start with a darker brown. This is called oak brown. Something like that. Let me get a little water. There we go. Now, I'm not overly concerned if I thin this out a little bit much, because it'll stay dark enough in the deep recesses, you know what I mean? And I'm going to be lightening up the outer layer anyways. Getting more water. And there's my first major issue with this miniature is right here. There's just no detail right there. It's just like mushed together. And I actually have a lot of other issues with it, but right here, it just kind of, there's no texture or anything. It just kind of runs together. And that's not ideal. But again, this miniature is, 15 years old or 16 years old and came out of a board game. So really, I can't complain too much. I got a really good deal. I got 70 or 80 miniatures for $40. Something like that. Buying it, at a game store where somebody had sold it to them. And it was missing some character sheets to play the actual Descent game. And I didn't want those anyways. I just wanted the miniatures to paint and to play with. So can't really complain too much. This guy's unibrow is the stuff of legends, though. That's what's up. My unibrow is more powerful than your greatest foils. Towns are terrified. This dude shows up with a unibrow. Says that if they don't have somebody with a unibrow at least as grand as his, he's eating all the ladies. And not the kind of nice way of eating ladies either, mind you. The kind where there's nothing left. Give me all your ladies since you have no unibrows. Like in medieval times, they probably had some unibrows, though. Like, I almost have a unibrow, sort of. In modern day, I was born with it. I mean, it's not a real unibrow, but there's little hairs in between my eyebrows. And when I was young, I tried to fight it, and by the time I was 20, I realized that everything you did made it worse, so I just gave up. I was like, all right, well, I have a unibrow. Oh, well. Hairy and refreshing. Get a little more water. And I'm just taking my time so I don't get it on the green skin I've already done. So when I come out to the edges here, I'm just dragging it real careful. And I know that you guys are probably thinking my careful is not that careful. Well, it's careful enough. And the end of that hair, it just kind of melds into the, instead of having actual tips on that hair, it actually kind of melds into the flatness of his back there. It's just not ideal. Happy Sunday, everybody, by the way. Today's the 19th. Oh, my vehicle logs are due tomorrow. I better get everybody awake on that. Vehicle logs are due. We have to turn those in. Me included. Now, I would say for some of the complaints I have about this miniature, there are some things I really, really do like about this miniature. For example, even though he's cartoony, his portions are pretty good. Like the way his arms, muscles are shaped as they're bent, the way his shoulders are. Like, I'm not unhappy with that. His face is actually pretty cool. The hair is beautifully detailed up to the points where it meets with anything or ends. Besides that, the hair is amazing. The ripped knee on his coverall or overalls here, that's a nice touch. It's real nice. So yeah, there's things I like about this mini for sure. What was I working on? There we go. And it looks like that's kind of a onesie coverall. It's like the boots come all the way up. Okay, well, oh, again, I got a good price on these. I can't complain too much. I didn't really even open the box before I bought them. I saw the picture on the back and said, ooh, I saw like 2 miniatures I liked, and I was like, all right, I'm getting this. Mrs. Doom was like, yes, let's do it, and we did it. All right, so let's dry him off and see where we're at. Now, he didn't come with this base. That's one of those poker chip bases. He came with this base, and it's pretty warped. And even though I put it in really almost boiling water a couple times, and I tried to straighten it out, I hit it with the hot air gun and stuff, I could not get this straightened out. And it's, many years old, from like '09 or something like that. So I decided just to chop him off there and put him on this base. All right, we'll take a second here and look at what's going on here. I think what we can do is we could do, even though I don't think denim was probably a big thing back then, especially a denim coverall or overalls with footsies, but we could do some blue for that maybe. I don't want to just keep doing everything in brown and make it boring. We'll do the handle of the weapon in a lighter brown and then dry brush it, or we'll put a wash on or something. We'll do the football looking thing there out of I guess metal. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. All right. I'm getting a lighter brown. This is fur brown. It's got a little bit of an orangish tone to it. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Scorbic put some of these Dungeons Flag mini holders in some of the boxes. If you've been with us for a few months, he has started putting just random secret gifts on a list that are going to be given out at times. So if you're not subscribed and you don't want to miss out on any of those cool gifts, I would not try to miss out on those if I could. That was a fire stick in my hand. It's a death stick. It's a Star Wars prop. Yeah, I know it's bad for me, and I don't want any of you guys doing it, but I'm an old man, and I just have my vices, and they're not good vices to have, but they're just the ones that I do have, and maybe I'll stop some of them, and maybe I won't. It's nice to think about a perfect world where I don't do anything that's not healthy, or I don't do anything that's unhealthy, I should say. But the reality is, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want to make any promises that I'm going to quit, because what if I don't? And I usually don't do it on camera. It's cold in here, and it feels nice on my stuff. eye's watering. I got some magic in my eye. All right. I did get a little bit on that hair back there, which is not what I wanted. I'm going to come back and try to clean that up real quick. Oh, I have some of this out already. All right, I think that was the only spots where I did that. All right, let's dry this off with some hot air. All right, so for my orangish color, I don't really know what I'm going to use. I don't want to be obnoxious. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of this, what is this called? Dry rust. Dry rust. And I'm going to get a small fanned out kind of plastic brush. I'm going to steal some of that brown, some of that orange. There we go, something like that. We could probably go a little lighter on that too, in some spots. We don't want to go overboard. We don't want it to be obnoxious. Probably do a little bit lighter now. We'll just do this little by little. Let's do it again. And the more we do this, the more interesting he becomes. The more depths and layers, the more fun. I'm going to get a little bit lighter of an orange now. This is called Elven Flesh. I don't know if that's going to be too light. Let's play with it. I'm going to get some of that tan that I used on his club. And a little bit of that orange. And a little bit of that almond flesh. Oh, I got a lot of that almond flesh. See if I can darken it up some. Now I've got what we call an unholy mess going. Now you want to be more sparing with this. You don't want to get in there too deep at all with this. You want to really use this on the outskirts of your hair. Something like that. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit on the edges of his elbow hair. I'm just going to touch a little bit more along the back. I think that's pretty good. All right, let's get some of this white I have over here and mix it with some of that. Let's give his stick a little bit of detail, not too much, just a little bit on there on the wood. Nothing too schmancy. Okay, I'm not unhappy. All right, so we talked about this. The footed one. Oh, wait, hold on. What's this right here? There is some stitches back there, as if one of the booties is sewn to the pants and the other one is part of it. All right, let's go with blue. What blue do you say? I don't know yet. Let's see. I have this void shield. That's a little light for what I want. What about this? Electric blue? Let's try it. Wait, what's this? Ultramarine blue. Well, that can't be right. That's not mixed up properly. I think I've literally only ever opened this thing one time. Is that the right color? I hate to waste it. That must be it. This looks darker to me. I need to buy a paint shaker thing. Yeah, that's the color. Okay. Let's get a brush. Let's moisten it up. Now that I've wasted a ton of paint, I'm going a little bit thick here. We're going to tone that down and drag some of that around and get rid of it. I got my overall onesie on and I'm going out to eat some people. That's what he might sound like. But generically and instinctively, whenever they try to talk to him, if he does talk back at all, which I don't know what I'm doing with him just yet, he'll talk like this. What you want to do in my swamp? I'm going to eat you. And that'll just come directly out of my mouth, no matter what my plan for him might be. Because when I look at him, that's the voice I see coming out of him. Either that or like, don't you know, you're in my swamp, I'm in the country free soup. That could be it. He's blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. Now, normally, when a miniature has some texture, like this is a lot of area with no texture at all. When it has texture, I try not to leave any paint lines. But this guy just doesn't have anything. So I'm hoping that if I can leave a little bit in the way of paint lines, that might end up paying off in the next portion when we start adding some variation to these pants. I'm not going to hold my breath on that. We gotta get back in here. Okay. Now, this little knife or whatever he has on his side is curved in such a way that I do not care for it. But I don't feel like there's a lot I can do with it now. If I had really noticed that I didn't like it before we started painting, we could have grounded that off or cut it off or modified it with some pieces. But because we're already kind of in, we're stuck with it. Now this guy looks a little too vibrant. So part of me feels like we're going to have to step him down with a wash. But I don't know yet. Let's see what I can do to these pants. All right. Using that same crappy fanned out brush I used earlier, I'm going to attempt. No, it's too wet. Let me find something else. Let's see what I got in here. What about this? This might work. This might be too soft. So we're going to get this electric blue. And I hope this is mixed a little better. This might be one I haven't really used either. No, this one looks mixed. Okay, good. All right, let me set this back in the trough over here. And then we're going to drag that around and lighten him up. I'm testing it kind of on the butt because what happens is when you wear blue jeans, or any pants really, the butt gets worn out first. And I know these guys didn't have denim, so this is probably just some blue fabric that his people found from a tent or some caravan they raided or whatever it may be. Or maybe somebody made this as a gift for him or for his father. Maybe his father was a nice giant. This brush isn't working though, for damn sure. Let me find something else. What about you? Oh, that brush. These bristles are hard as a rock. That's the way this brush is designed, though. Let's see if we can... Yeah, it's not going to work either. All right. I know you'll work, but you're too big. Sweet baby, baby. There we go. We're just going to be very conservative and careful, that's all. Oh, that's what we needed exactly, too. Oh. Okay. I think that's what I wanted. Let's get our small brush out. Let's get some of these, where's that color at? Skeleton bone. Let's get that little bone tooth thing there. He's using it as his thing to hold his suspender up. There's one on the front and one on the back. Let me use that same color. And we're going to do these straps on his weapon here with that. And then we're going to come back and dry brush those, or brush those in some form, either to darken them up or lighten them up or do something with them. But this is going to be a lot easier to do now and not have to be as careful as if we came back and did it later and had to watch not hitting the metal, doing these thin little... Oh, the top of his club is wood. I missed that concept. Let's rinse out the brush and do that real quick. Okay, it's pretty noticeably different from there to there, but we got to pick and choose our battles, dudes. We'll have to fix that later with some dry brushes, that's all. Sorry, my dad's bringing my little boys back, and he's giving them a hard time. Well, they're probably giving him a hard time, and he's just being silly to them. Okay. That should do it. All right. I'm going to set this off to the side. We're going to use that in a minute. Hot air gun. And I just realized we didn't do the under portion of the bandages on his hand wrap here. So let's come back with that brown again real quick, that tan. Skeleton bone. Can't get in there. There we go. That looks like that's good enough for, close enough for government work. Now I need a color to do the that little knife pouch on his side with. I'm going to use this color. It's called leather brown. It's a light to medium tone brown. And then to do that doofy handle, I'm just going to mix some of this with that and use that color to do the handle, and it won't be much darker. Need to darken that up some. That's a little bit. Just make it noticeable. I'm going to get a little bit of this white. Let's do a little variation on that. All right, he's got some kind of medallion thing here. He's got some kind of bracelet there. He's got eyes and teeth. His teeth are not real noticeable, and he's got this metal piece up here. Let's shoot bombs on this metal piece. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the bandages on each quadrant, or each section, not quadrant. Be super careful. Take your time. We're not in a race. If you can get a miniature this size with the challenges that we've faced on your tabletop within an hour, maybe hour and a half, and it looks okay. I'm not asking for perfection, but if it looks okay, then I'd say we're doing an okay job. We're doing a good job. Will this thing be perfect? No. No. It'd probably take me 5 hours to even come close to what I would consider my best paint job on it. But when I paint for 5 hours, I put on a movie. I have I don't do it in the wintertime. I'm not going to sit in the garage and freeze. But, it's like not a video thing. All right, I'm pretty pleased with that. Let's come back to that off-white and get a fractional brush. All right. A couple little more thingy bobs real quick. Let's get a little bit of a wash here. Not wash, speed paint. I'm going to use this kind of like a wash. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out real far so there's not much on there. I'm going to use it to kind of dye these bandages here. See that? I'm just kind of not using the full potential of the speed paint. Just getting I'm going to use that same ship. Come up here. Carefully. Now this little buckle on here should be metal, but since I didn't catch it early on, it's going to be not metal. Okay. Now there's a couple spots where we could liven things up with that a little bit. And we'll just do that real fast. All right. Got the fractional brush back out. I got that mummy robes color. And what I want to do is I want to touch this bracelet. What was I doing? I'm going to touch this bracelet in such a way that I can come back over it with that speed paint. Make these skulls look okay. Air gun. Do we do little red dots for irises? I think not. I don't want to mess up my eyes. So let's do the base and call it a win. Oh, shit. Or, excuse my French. Shoot. Shoot. Got a brand new burn umber here. Brand new, fresh off the burn umber bus. Wherever burn umber comes to town. That's not good by any measure of any miniature paint ever. All right, good news. It was plastic. All right. So, when Lady Doom and I went to our date today, we ate at Texas Roadhouse, and guess who we saw? My favorite cousin, well, not my favorite cousin, but my awesome cousin, Manzer. the one that was an Eagle Scout that I was talking about before. He works there, bussing tables and stuff until he graduates high school. And he sat with us for a few minutes and BS'd. It was nice. I'm going to get a lighter brown. I'm just going to get this kind of muddled around. Oh, this is chunky. I'm tossing this. I'm going to start tossing shit. I got to make room to bring stuff down here and get some work done. All right, so we could use a strong tone, a dark wash, whatever we wanted to use at this point, or we could leave him just like this. He's a little vibrant and a little silly, but part of me is okay with that. But with part of me being okay with that comes to something else. I want to do his fingernails, and I want to do those irises. Then I'm going to get the original green color, that one of the green colors we used, goblin green. And since I messed up one of those irises and got it on the bottom of his eyelid, I'm going to use it as a little highlight to cover up my mistake. Now for the nails. I'm just going to use that army green color, that subdued kind of green. I will say that did not add anything to the mini. And I always talk about making sure you're adding something to the mini if you're going to keep painting. And I'm not at this point. The eyes, they're an okay touch. You know, they're all right. The fingernails did nothing. Maybe if I had something a little more noticeable. Let's try that. Yeah, just bringing it down 2 tones-ish. Didn't even do enough to make it worth adding it. I am going to use that same color on his nipples, however. Sweet nipples. All right. Could flock the base. Wouldn't hurt. Let's do it quick. We're already over an hour. Let's just take that extra couple seconds and do it. I'm getting a crappy brush. Something with long, soft crappiness. And I'm getting some clear glue. There's no condom on here. Don't worry, Sween. I'm going to let this slowly... I got to fill this thing up. I always mean to come down here and do some, like, getting ready to like craft stuff done, and I never do it. I always just, like, in my head say I'm going to do this, and then, or on the video even, I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to come down and do this. I'm going to fill this up, and I never do it. This isn't my whole life, you know what I mean? I have kids, I have dogs, I have a job. This is just a fun thing I do that I like to share with you guys. Just occurred to me, this guy's pants look really clean for being a giant that lives in the swamp. Oh, damn it. All right. We'll fix it. We will fix it. Just give me a second. Somatically, it just doesn't work. How do we fix it? All right. I got an idea. Get this cardboard. Trade it for this cardboard. Let's get a soft brush. Let's muddy up his butt using the speed paint. Let's dirty him up. There we go. And then how can his pants be so dirty and him not be a little dirty too? All right, I'm happy if you are. Well, I don't care if you're happy. You're not here to say anything. So anyways, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment, and all the stuff we need to do to get the channel promoted. I'm going to clear coat this dude, take it upstairs. There are some little weird differences like the color there for the rest of the stick. I can live with that if you can, or if you can't, really doesn't matter. Come to the website, buy some miniatures. Not these miniatures, real high-quality Dungeon Swag miniatures. Beautiful, flexible, durable, like nice, good minis. Don't buy minis off these big companies. Buy them off of us. If you can't, we understand. No judgment. We've all been there. Come to the Discord, hang out with us, paint, learn how to paint just enough to get it on the tabletop and not enough to be great. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.